Well, hello and welcome everyone. We are at Hungary tonight for the round 5 clash here for the FNL1 eSports guys. We will be starting the stream in 9 minutes 58 seconds, highlights, and then it'll be onto the race. So they're just getting through qualifying right now. If you do want to watch a little bit of the qualifying and you want to see what's happening behind the scenes a little bit, make sure you're on the Discord. I do stream the unbroadcast stuff beforehand, so you get yourself a little bit of a bonus. If you join up as a Demo One Garage mega fan, you can come in and watch the qualifying while we're sitting here waiting. But highlights coming up straight after this, and if you are watching on replay, time codes will be in the description for the start of the race, so you can just skip to that time code and watch from there. But welcome along everyone, the notification squad is here. Iced Monkey, all the other boys, Major Dan, Gabe. Crazy that we started at 9:11 and you've got the 911 name in your name. I don't know how that worked out, but that was insane, Gabe. But welcome along, guys. We will be starting in about just over 8 minutes, so stand by for that, and we'll bring you all the action. Don't forget Discord. Right now we have the broadcasting going on, and you can watch from there and chat to me in the chat room beforehand. So we'll see you guys very shortly, and welcome to this one. Welcome along, Chris. Good to have you. Major Dan doesn't want to. He's got a ban this week, which sucks. But I guess they're the prices you pay sometimes for just having a go at overtaking, and it didn't work out. It unfortunately it's the way it goes, but that's the rules. The stewards. Interesting decision. But welcome along, everyone. Now, if the stream's slow for some reason. missed that. Bambi. SWAT has just done well. And don't forget, if you do want to watch qualifying, it might be dead quiet, only because I'm not able to stream the sound while I'm waiting for this. While we're waiting for this stuff to go. Otherwise, you'd be hearing engine sounds at the moment. But you can still watch it at least. Prince is here. Welcome. My iPad just reset, and it's got my chat screen on it. It is a very old iPad. It's probably running an iOS version that is incapable of supporting anything modern day. Back when I thought iPads were cool. I mean, they're nice to use, but I hated how they slow down. The lot, welcome. Just don't forget, guys, we got straight after this, as soon as we start the stream, highlights and then the race. So once I start the stream, you got about 8 minutes. So you do have a little bit of time, but I just want to warn you, when that countdown hits 0, we will be going into the highlights from last week. Thank you. Captain, this is just the race. We'll probably get the end of qualifying, but if you want, I am watching the qualifying on Discord. I'm streaming it on Discord, so you can come into Discord and actually watch it from there. It'll be mute, I think, but if you're in our Discord, one of the benefits for you Demo 1 guys is I do different stuff on Discord that I don't put on YouTube. So there we go. Make sure you're on the Discord if you want to see all the different stuff I put up there. The qualifying right now is on the Discord, and it's a Discord exclusive thing. So yeah, but otherwise highlights coming up in 2 minutes, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Q2 is just over. Good morning, Rui, and Chris Brown is here as well. Hello guys, good to have you along. I have muted. If you are wondering, you can't talk to me at the moment. I've muted myself in Discord because yeah, we want to give everyone the ability to hear the highlights. You can watch. Alrighty, so it is highlights for round 4 we're about to see. But welcome along guys, this is round 5 of the F1 eSports Hungary race from Budapest. And my name's Josh here on Demo 1, and it's so good to have you guys join us tonight. Much like last week, I'm expecting a very close race, and if you didn't catch the F2 last night, may I suggest you go check it out after, because it was an absolutely unforgettable piece of racing. So, these are the highlights from last week in Germany. It's supposed to be wet all the way through to the end where it dries. So heavy rain at the start, drying at the end. Here's the highlights, guys, and straight after this, we'll be on to the race itself. Here we go. 5 lights and we're racing. And we're up and underway here at Hockenheim. It's going to be a tight squeeze when we get into the apex of 1. 2 wide with Hawks and Bots, and they've managed to work that through. Mike gets his way through as well, and Wardy, he's keeping pace with them nicely. BP's got a lot of work to do now as we get into the second corner of this one, but you can see a little bit of a contact at the back. One of the Alfa Romeos has gone round.
Carnage.
And that is Major Dan. Good exit. Swatter. Both got DRS, but I think Epic's got his car turned up just a little bit higher here. He'll be on the outside line for this corner. Can he get it around? Oh, that's a great little move. Oh, it's pushed Ming wide there. I don't know where Ming, he's really lost out because he was way out on the runoff.
That was Crazy Kiwi. I think that was Crazy Kiwi and Ming to be. You're right. Both of them had some kind of contact just up ahead of them.
Absolutely. Plenty of action as Wardy tries to go around the outside. Hawks is going to sneak it on the inside as well. Tags the Ferrari. And
Wardy Chill says thank you very much.
Look at that. Look at the gap he's built there. End plate's missing on the Ferrari, I think. So Hawks got away with that. Mike will not be happy with how he's ended up. Second place, second best.
Well, he's taken that back off Hawks. I don't know if he's sort of
early on in 8th on lap 8. So, there goes Hawks around the outside. It was like Mike was standing still. Easy one for Hawks there, and he has the better exit, so Mike's now trailing. He's got it back though.
Mike, ambitious.
This is just awesome. We'll let the action speak for itself because it is purely entertainment at this point.
Yeah, Hawks saw him coming there in Cape today, and he's going to make a move down the inside. Not much possible to do. Oh, they touch him.
He's put something on. Yeah, he's got the apex first though, and Bots had to back out because there was absolutely nowhere for the Ferrari man to put his car ahead of you here. Bots though reply on BP for the race lead. This is going to be very interesting if they keep doing this today. Keep swapping and changing positions because, well, we don't usually see it, but I think Bots has turned it up to another level tonight at Hockenheim. Oh, look at that.
Oh, holds his line around the outside. He'll take the inside line for this corner. He'll hold his position. But there you saw a classic example of BP getting the switchback done on Bots. Bots went a little bit wide on the exit of the apex. That gave BP the run on the inside. Yeah, Bots done well to hold the line around that very fast corner, which on the corner after the hairpin.
He's got it up into the overtake mode. And he's pushed Bots to the outside line. You think BP's got this here? I think you were right. Oh, Bots can get on the outside if he's got the traction and the run. He might get it back. Again, they're going to go too wide. Very, very, very aggressive, but he keeps it. And Bots doesn't want to let go of the lead.
No, he doesn't. And he's using a lot of ERS to do this. He's down to 30%, and BP's still floating at 71%. So BP's got plenty in reserve. Yep.
Bots on the inside. He's pushed down to second place. BP had that extra pace, and that ERS deployment worked for him. Oh, and Bots has got his up to 5, but I think he's used it a little bit too prematurely. He's turned it to 0 now, so he's harvesting. So yeah, this is an awesome match.
It is indeed. They're quite evenly matched here, but I just think that, BP's sort of, he's got more in reserve here if he chooses.
Goes in Andrew, Lukey D on the inside, under braking. I think it's going to be an easy move. And he will continue on. He's very deep. Lukey almost tagged him in the back there. I don't know if his brakes big fade, but he's lucky not to tag him.
Yeah, definitely. Probably lost a bit of aero, at the back there, and he sort of, dodged it out there to the left side, and in the end, our braking.
It is very interesting spot for him to.
I think what's happened here is he's the corner before. I think that he's lost it there at high speed, got into a massive tank slapper, and then it sent him into the wall. I know he's got the DRS open, but that Ferrari's definitely quick. Oh, he tries to block him on the inside, holds Mike tight, and Mike gets that. Yeah,
he's done it. That's a very, very famous corner for overtakes, and Mike's done another one there today. It's been majoritarily Mike and Kiwi doing them, but it's been good to watch. And Hawks is now 2.9 away, and Mike's got a big task ahead of him now. The workload might become a little bit too much. Here he comes in the Red Bull. Crazy Kiwi. Easy got him just in front. He's got a nose ahead. Mike's sixth on the leaderboard.
Oh, I thought Epic was going to try something around the outside of Mike there.
Oh, Epic, he needs to get in there and do it soon, though, because he could really help out Kiwi if he's to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So a double move.
Mike's in a Red Bull sandwich at the moment.
He is persistent, though, Mike. He won't.
Look at that Ferrari.
Oh, it's so good down that straight, isn't it?
What I was saying, Mike's running less rake and potentially less aero as well. He's really got that top speed, and that's keeping him in this fight.
It is, but it's this part of the track. Here he goes. Oh, he's got to go around the long way. It's going to push him wide. The two Red Bulls stay on the track. Epic still couldn't get through. But yeah, this is where the Red Bulls thrive in this technical part. Yeah, Mike can't get on the power as soon as they can. He doesn't have the traction that they have. But you're right, if you can get the move done down at that up into that hairpin, and he can defend it for a lap, he might be able to stay there.
Yeah, Hawks is now on box going into the hairpin.
Here we go.
Oh, he's moved out the last second. You'll take him though. The braking from the soft tyre just, there was nothing,
Too wide and put Mike in the middle.
3 wide.
Here we go. 3 wide. What does Mike do? And it's going to be Epic's turn to get ahead.
Oh!
And we got one of the back markers getting the other way. And here we go. The traction the Kiwi's got. He might get it. He's got him into the turn. Oh. He's just tagged the Ferrari. He's gone wide. And he's backed off a little.
Oh, Mike, he's under-braked himself there.
He's tagged Epic. He needs to get that spot up to Epic to be... there could be a protest at the end for that, but it was a little bit of a dive with those dying... Oh, he's gone wide into the gravel.
He's gone wide.
Somehow,
he's got damage.
Somehow Kiwi come out ahead of it too.
Yes. Kiwi's also...
Edgy gone through the field. This is for 10th place. XC...
Oh, Ing's thrown it down.
Big dive there. Big dive. XC follows. He got the move done, and Swatter is his next target. I don't know if he can do it, but...
No, he won't be able to do it. No, I don't think... They will go another lap. They'll go another lap. These guys are down a bit, but I don't think he can chase that 11 seconds.
But here he is. This is BP. Flawless run. A grid penalty, and he got fastest lap. Wow, on hard tyres. Hawks.
Lewis Hamilton. Holy shit.
Yeah, so he's taken it. He's thrown it in Hawks' face, who had the soft tyre, used hards, and gets the fastest lap of the race. Well, welcome along, everybody. We're just watching the end of Q3, and Hawks goes second fastest. At the moment, BP's there. Mike, Schnell, and Bots all fighting for fourth. Third is being separated by Crazy Kiwi. And welcome along to everyone that has joined us up on the Discord watching the qualifying beforehand. Like I said, if you do join the Discord, you do get yourself a little bit of some bonus features. And I've got Zen with me tonight. How you going tonight, Zen? I'm doing well. Now we are expecting very heavy rain for the race itself, so these dry conditions are reported to not hang around. We certainly do. I'm very excited to see what happens. Wardy's just buggered that lap up, running past the track limits. So the Mercedes garage getting ready. We're getting down to the thick of this one. Major Dan can't hear you on YouTube. Give us a second, Major Dan. I'll get that fixed. No, I know what it is. I've stuffed my... I've been playing around with my sound settings. I know you guys can't hear Zen, but what I've done, I've been playing around with my sound settings. and I have not changed them back. So, alright, speak again now, Zen.
Alright, we've got about 2.5 minutes to go in this session, and now the boys are going to go in for what we call our genuine hot lap. Up until this moment, all the boys would have set a relative banker to give them a position on the grid at the very least, but now I think the boys are really going to turn the wick up and push the limits of the track and the car.
Awesome. Captain, I don't know what's happening with you, man, but I will test on my end what's happening with the sound. At least we got a few minutes to test these things.
Indeed.
Usually sound's not an issue for me, but
You don't know the sound of my own voice, huh?
Give me a second. Oh, you're definitely there. Welcome. Oh, super chat by Bambi. Oh, thank you very much, Bambi, for your donation of $20. That is an absolute beast mode way to start today. And Bambi's
well done, Bambi.
He started us strong, mate. Thank you very much. Round of applause for Bambi.
Bambi.
Well, Bambi, here are the points. Oh, the points button doesn't work. I do all these testing and just decides not to work on me. Here we go. BPV8. Look at that. 4 wins in a row. He is definitely the one to beat. He's the favourite at the moment. Bots has beaten his teammate at the moment. He's got a hat-trick of seconds. And Mike, he needs to get those results up a little bit better. Hawks just there, down in below him. Constructors, as they stand, 147 for Mercedes. It's a little bit of a different story with Ferrari Mercedes. Quite close, only separated by 30 points. But from third down, it's a very close battle indeed, with Red Bull, Racing Point, Williams in that order. Still AlphaTauri yet to get off the mark, but McLaren, Haas also 2 points astray. There it is, the driver standings at the moment. Your champion, and looking likely, is going to be BPV8. If he can continue his run of winning, he might be able to do a whole whitewash of this Season 6, but we'll see what happens. Mike, the defending champion there, third place with 48. Hawks, 5 behind on 43. But we've got the end of this qualifying session, and Mike, he's on a fast lap, but I don't think he's up.
So far, BP on top with a stunning lap, but he's still on his flyer now. I think, I'm looking at the radar here, I think no, Bots is the one that's furthest up ahead. I think now we should be on Bots. He'll be coming around the last corner now to finish his flyer.
So Bots is about, he got
and
through.
Bots goes pole,
Fastest.
he goes provisional pole. BP will be the next car.
Here comes BP. Coming up towards the line. I don't know what his sector times were like. No, it wasn't good enough.
Hawks will be the next car across the line. No, it'll be Mike actually. Mike gets third.
And Kiwi and Ming, I don't know if they've retired or had an accident, but they're out of this one.
Yeah, they've looked like both of them in the second sector. Looking at our mini-map there, they've had moments, separate moments it looks like.
Hawks' car is sticking nicely through the hairpin into the final corner now. He's just got this last and final right-hander. Get the power down up towards the line. It's going to be a very tight one. Oh, he just jumps. I think
he just got Mike, I think, yeah. You think he just picked Mike.
He got third.
Yeah.
So welcome along, everybody. This is going to be a very exciting day today. I can't wait to bring this along. My name's Josh Kane. I've got Zen Raza with me. This is Den 1 Garage broadcasting the FNL1 Formula 1 Round 5 race here at Hungary. And we do have the 100% race in Bahrain. It's on Sunday. So Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We will be starting, well, the guys will be joining the lobby and we'll be getting the show off the road shortly after that. So if you want to get your eyes and teeth and everything into a bit of 100% racing at Bahrain the way it should be, we've got it right here with FNL1. So don't miss that one. But tonight it is this FNL1 F1 Championship at Hungary, and Spence has chucked a follow on Twitch. Thank you very much for your support there, Spence. Alrighty, we've got the formation lap to go. I'm very keen to see what this wet race
here it is. It looks
out.
pretty wet from pit lane at the moment.
Oh yeah, I'm very keen for this one.
Well, it's interesting there, you know, Bot's really locking that pole position down. He's not going to let this championship go without a fight, you know, and, you know, everyone was talking about how mathematically, you know, with the current form that BP's got, he could potentially, you know, consolidate the championship this race if Bots was to have a bad race and finish 5th or lower. But, you know, he's put himself on pole. It's going to be a wet race. It'll be a little bit of an attrition race to that first corner to get away and be the guy that's not in the spray.
That's right.
So,
yep. Yeah, the visibility is going to be a big thing for some of these guys. It's a different ball game when it's a wet race.
100%. It's you got to take it totally different. If the track is drying up as well, you got to know when's the right time to come on that tire. Knowing, you know, sometimes the track might be evolving so quickly that you might think, I should go straight onto the slick. No, you should go on the intermediate, even if it is only for a couple of laps. You should always be on the best tire at the right time.
And that will be the hardest thing they've got to pick out today as they get their formation lap underway. Let's have a look at the track itself. And that doesn't want to load. We'll get that one back up in just a second. But yeah, Bots, he has the advantage being at the front, but if there's any chaos in behind, he might have a nasty shunt, which might wreck their race early on. Let's have a look at this tyres that they've decided to start on.
Well, everyone's starting on intermediates. That's interesting. So there mustn't be as heavy a rainfall as we were thinking.
No.
All the boys are taking into consideration that it will dry out pretty quickly.
Well, hopefully that's the case for them. Here's the track itself. There's all 3 sectors mapped out for you. Start-finish line. There's a DRS zone there, and then a second one around the exit of turn 1. All 14 corners that they've got to navigate. It's quite a narrow circuit, so usually coming up into the first turn is the best spot for overtakes. But some guys might get a little bit adventurous in the wet, maybe on the outside of 2. But it's really going to be a game of patience for those that survive the first lap. But yeah, it's just a huge unknown. Bots, has he ever led a Grand Prix? Not this season. I'm trying to think back season 5. I'm not sure if he did either. So
no, I think he did. He did have a couple of good. He won one race, remember, but he got it right at the end, you know. But I'm sure he's led a couple of Grand Prix. He's been a little bit unlucky when he's been in the lead, if my memory serves me correctly. But you know, there's something about Bots tonight. I've got a good feeling about him. If he can get out in front in turn 1. Then I got a funny feeling it'll be his Grand Prix to lose.
Probably onto something there. Let's see what he can do. Major Dan, wishing everybody luck, and our resident Russian Keegan Sergey in the house. Welcome along, guys. You're just in time to see the very start of this race. Bots took the front spot away from those Mercedes guys, and here we go. Let's see how this one figures itself out as we wait for the lights. 3, 4, 5 red. And we're up and racing at a wet and stormy Hungary. It is now just a race of keep yourself alive as we race towards turn 1. Good start from Bots, and his teammate Mike is trying to split the field. Inside, outside, everybody slowly tiptoeing into that first turn. Everybody on their very best behaviour, I must say. And you can see, I think AB Saints went a little bit wide at the back, but it was a great start. And BP rockets to the front. And now it's the 2 Ferrari guys fighting for position in the podium. Ming's gone wide as well. He's got to recover. And I think Swatter had an issue down at turn 2. He went very wide in that Williams. But look at the visibility. Yeah. Absolutely. Not a lot you can see in front, just a lot of spray and a lot of water.
Definitely, it's torrential out there, even on the intermediates. There's still a lot of spray. The rain is still actually falling, and I've got a funny feeling the boys are gambling that it's going to stop pretty soon, you know, in order for them to, you know, get the most out of these intermediates. But right now, it is extremely slippery out there.
Oh, it definitely is, and they've done really well. No accidents at all into turn 1. They were 2x2 at some stages into turn 2 as well. We had even a few go wide, but still I don't think there was any carbon missing anywhere. as Ming takes a little bit out of the corner. Oh, Wardy goes very wide, but he pulls it back in just before the barriers appear in front of him. That could have been deadly for him, but he's now chasing, trying to get traction down. And look at the McLaren ahead of him. Ming got a really good run on Schnell at the moment. And right now, everybody's playing the safe game. And I haven't seen anyone dive in. Oh, Ming. I thought he got a little bit sideways. He did, ran a little bit wide in that last exit. But he's recovered. But yeah, didn't see anyone dive in for full wets yet. So they seem to be happy with it.
Yeah, they're definitely out. There's a bit of a line forming that I can see on my screen, you know, so the boys are going to live with it initially, and I think the track's going to definitely come to them. BP and Bots have sort of made a bit of a gap now on Mike, and Mike's, you know, holding off Hawks at least out of that, you know, technically the 1 second DRS zone, but Kiwi is very close, and so is Schnell. So things still very tight.
Definitely, the two Ferraris have done well. Bot's just gone purple sector 1. BP's trying to build a lead, which he does a lot of the time. Greedin's fallen down. I think Banana Hammock's on a bit of a charge through the field, and Warrior Wasp might be too. He backs out of it. Smart move. That's a very tight left-hander there. And Breedin's gone wide, and I think he somehow managed to get ahead of Breedin. Wasp did get ahead of Breedin, because he was out wide and he had to rejoin the circuit. Very slippery out there on the concrete, but he's kept it in tip-top shape for now, but a bit shaky early on for those guys down the back end of the order.
Well, we've got BP leading Bots, and a bit of a gap again forming before Mike on third, and Hawks is now very close to Mike, and I think Hawks is now putting a bit of pressure on Mike. But he's still got Kiwi right behind him within a second.
And Swatter's up in the top 9. He's got his teammate Azad there in 10th. And the gap for them at the moment, 7/10. They usually have DRS, but on a wet and rainy circuit, there's no such thing. So it's just got the power and the ability of the driver propelling them along down the front straight. It's going to be a little bit harder to get the overtakes here today. But if it does dry up like it's reported to, we should be seeing some DRS at the end of the race. But yeah, this is going to be a long fought fight for everybody involved. As Ming sort of dives up the inside of the Alpha, Schnell does a little bit of dummying and blocks him. And he's done well. Swatter's running wide as well at 2. But at the moment, everybody's still keeping it clean. But Ming is the closest now behind Schnell and the Alpha.
I think Schnell's been, you know, a bit of on and off this season. Last season in the Williams, he was really good. Both him and Swatter really right up there. Schnell having a great race now, but in the season he's been a bit of a hit and miss.
Yeah, it's been a bit like that for a few of them. Like Mike dominated last season, but this leg in Europe just hasn't gelled at all for him. So
well, yeah, it definitely suits the Mercedes drivers, this European leg, let's call it, you know, the fast-flowing kind of European-style circuits definitely favours the Mercedes drivers. Whereas, you know, in the fifth season we had a lot of these street circuits and stuff, which the Ferrari drivers relished, to be honest, and the Mercedes drivers struggled big time.
Kino asking, do we get weather as spectators? No, we don't. That'd be a good addition for 2020 if they do add anything. But yeah, we don't get that stuff. We have to rely on the guys to send us a message in Discord of all things.
Technically, we've got a guy in pit lane.
Yeah, well, that's you, technically.
Technically.
But yeah, at the moment, the race is just sort of at a standstill. A procession, you'd call it. They do call this the Monaco with no buildings, but
yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely tight.
But being a wet race, they're just playing a little bit safer today, and I know the stewards have sort of ramped up their penalties somewhat, because Major Dan's out tonight with a penalty he didn't serve from Silverstone, I think. Was that right? No, actually Dan's out for a penalty he got at Hockenheim, something that we missed actually on the stream down in the backfield. He had a major incident going into turn 2 at the start of the race, and the stewards deemed it to be, you know, bad enough that they got a race ban. I think it was not for the single incident, but he had another incident early on in the season, and the cumulative license points forced the steward's hand. Oh, Ming's gone wide. That was a big save from him. Everybody around him got the overtake done, but Ming almost lost control. That was very sketchy for him then, but he's down to 9th from 7th. 2 spots gone. So Swatter and Wardy, thank you very much. They'll continue on.
And again, we've got Ming and Swatter within metres of each other on a racetrack.
That's what you want.
What is it with these guys? What is it with these guys in their magnetism to each other? They've got this little bit of a rivalry that's sort of been brewing this season, you know. But ever since Barcelona, they've been giving each other plenty of room. And here goes Ming, has a look on the inside, but nothing to be done with that.
No, not with the door shutting so quickly. It was quickly getting squeezed out. Bambi's making a note that BP is running away. He definitely is. 2.5 seconds over Bots already. But he needs to keep it clean. I think he will. If he wins this race, he's certainly going to have this championship done and dusted here today.
Well, all but mathematically. I think, you know, mathematically to seal it, he'd need Bots to finish 5th or lower, and Bots needs to not get fastest lap. I think if my calculations are correct. But, yeah, it's sort of like delaying the inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Warrior Wasp is getting... Oh, I think he's touched. He did. He's touched Denoz. Denoz gone sliding around. He's been reset, luckily. And here comes Breeden and AB to get the overtake on him, but that's not what he wanted at all. He won't be happy. I think Wasp might need to do some explaining there. Have a look on the right-hand side. You will see the replay. Have a look at this. Come into the braking. It was just the slightest of taps and sent the Hask sliding around. He did lose some end plates there, but yeah, Denol's lost out big time.
It doesn't take much, and he was just starting to get loaded up, you know, and in these conditions, you know, pardon the pun, but you just need to sneeze on someone. And I think Hawks is actually... Oh no, Hawks just went really sideways and caught it on my screen there just for a moment, but yeah, Hawks is now, I think all the top guys, and I mean BP's, you know, obviously very quick, we know in the wet, you know, and I got a funny feeling that both the Ferraris are in some kind of fuel conservation. There's no need to burn a lot of fuel in the wet. It'll probably actually slow you down, if anything. So the guys are probably running a pretty lean fuel mix, waiting for it to sort of dry out. That's something that we can't tell on our HUD. We can only tell if they're using what ERS they're using, and most guys are floating around 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is a little bit of a conservation game, and the weather now needs to sort of play its part, because the boys are going to, if it starts to dry out more and more, these intermediates aren't going to last. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
And then that could force their hands, but they don't want to get into a window where they're, you know, they don't want to probably go on hards on this track in the wet, because they'll be struggling to keep them up to temp initially.
Now,
it'll be damn scary.
Yeah, Kino's asked, because you're the technical guy. Wet weather racing, do you stay off the racing line to save the tyres, or he wants to know?
Yeah, well, when they're wet, now the boys are on intermediate, so they're actually looking for that racing line that you can see where it's nice and drier, let's call it.
It's like the blacker line, you can see it.
Yeah, the black line. If they were on full wets, that black line would actually overheat the tyres very, very quickly. So then they would be looking for the puddles on the straights and stuff to cool the tyres down. On the intermediates, they don't necessarily need to do that, and F1 is a little bit unique. You know, not a lot of other motorsports have an intermediate tyre, which is a good balance in exactly these kind of conditions where there is a drying line, but it's just not dry enough to go on a slick, but it's too dry to stay on a wet tyre.
Yeah, it's very interesting actually to see. But this race itself is going to be about strategy, this one. Because like you said at the start of the race in the broadcast, being on the right tyre at the right time, today's about tyres, and when that weather starts to dry up, if it's supposed to, whoever's at that pit lane entrance at the right time and decides to take that chance, and whoever does that at the right time will gain a huge advantage on everybody around them.
VP goes purple, fastest so far, and you can see here now Hawks is all over the back of Mike. So it seems now in these exact conditions now, the Mercs are the quickest.
Yeah,
they're quicker than the Ferrari.
Quick. The Renaults as well. HRT's had his teammate Chook on his tail now for some time, and he's darted out wide in the last turn. I think Chook might have been able to put a little bit more power down more effectively through there. He goes offline. Chook follows him. He wants that inside line for turn 1, but he might get it around the outside here. He does. It was a team order, that looked like.
Yeah, that looked like, a courtesy team. Didn't want to get involved there. It is very tight, the initial apex in turn 1, so you sort of got to give a fair bit of margin.
And it's now Lukey's D-turn to try and put the Renault in a sort of pressure cooker, so to speak. He is looking quick. Get the back end flicks out there again. They've got to be careful of that. Some of these guys might have a little bit of a looser setup. Oh, here we go. Oh, Lukey D. He just caught that. Very, very lucky indeed. I don't know, the car sort of unbalanced as he hit the apex of that hill. Sort of just unloaded all that energy in the springs, but he's held it, and he will reset and try again.
Just looked like his front wing when he went over that chicane there. His front wing had a lot of wobble in it, didn't it? Was that just me? It's almost like he's got a little bit loose there again.
Yeah, he's really loose at the moment. I don't know if he's over driving or something at the moment, but could be his undoing if he does it too much.
Could be just his setup. He's planning more on a dry. Yeah, he's like really struggling out there, isn't he?
Understeer is not helping him. I hate understeer in cars. I'd rather an oversteery car, if any. I know everyone's different, but for me, if the car starts to understeer, I'm not good. Can't drive it. Never get my lap times anywhere near what I want. It's interesting how that happens, but that's just racing for you. It's one of those unique things. Ming's gone. Ming's lost Swatter. Swatter's absolutely flying away at the moment.
Yeah, I was checking that out. I've got a funny feeling that Ming had a moment somewhere and he's been left behind now. And Swatter's, he was floating around the 0.6, 0.7 seconds behind Wardychill, but Wardy's just opened up a little bit more of a gap now, 1.2.
Things are getting interesting in the battle for third. Hawks is now within 3/10 of Mike. And I think what Zen was talking about, where the Mercedes at this stage of the race, they look to be the fastest. And that's sort of showing right now. Mike's doing a good job of defending. He does have track position, and that's always a bit of a bonus around here in Hungary. And without DRS as well, it's going to be an even harder job for Hawks to line him up.
Yeah, without the DRS, it sort of makes this straight down here, the pit straight, a little bit now useless because you just can't. It's not long enough to get a good run in a natural position, and this is your best bet to make a move. Anywhere else really on this track, it's a patience thing. You have to be right there to pounce on the guy in front of you when he makes a mistake. It's the only way to get past anyone on this track. All things being equal.
Kino's asked about the assists. I'm pretty sure most of them run. It's not mandatory, but I'm pretty sure most of them run everything off. Some might run the line. I'm not sure.
No. The line is off.
It's off.
The line is definitely off, and only a few boys are running traction control and ABS.
And I think from next season the talk is to have it fully off, so everybody in the same boat at some point. So. Yeah, but I know definitely the fast guys at the front, they're running with everything off. So, a very tough job indeed. They're doing a good job of it. I definitely couldn't do it. I always find I lock up the back wheels too much. Just too heavy on the braking. Especially when I don't have a load cell, pedal set or anything. It can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, well, it definitely helps. A load cell pedal brake make a world of difference, especially in conditions like this.
And, Kino saying he needs his ABS. Are you with us on Sunday, Kino? I don't know if you are, but we do have the 100% race on Sunday, and on that race I'm letting everybody use whatever assist they want to use. Like we had the first time round, it was an interesting race with all new people that have never raced each other before. We got a few returning, but I'm very keen to see how Bahrain pans out this time, 100%. Should be another good cracking race in the desert. But at the moment, this wet one has been a little bit lackluster at the moment. That's just the way these things go. Hungary, like I said, they refer to it as the track, the Monaco without the buildings, and that's sort of showing here in the wet. They don't, if they take any chances, it's pretty much game over. And a lot of these guys right now want to do the best they can and score as many points as possible, and hopefully cross their fingers. Maybe the top guys will make mistakes, and some of these midfield guys can get themselves on a podium.
Well, I think the reason we're in this little bit of a lull now, so to say, as their strategies all play out with this weather, is that no one's made really any major mistakes here.
No,
at least out of the top 5 runners, top 6, let's say. You could even extend that up all the way up to Swatter. Ming definitely has made a mistake. He's lost a bit of pace now. I'm interested to see if we can see if Ming might have any kind of damage. No, he looks fine.
I think okay. Might be 1 or 2. I know down the back, I think Dennels might be with some damage. Ming might have some. That's just guessing from what we saw before. But yeah, Schnell was close to Kiwi there. Kiwi down that straight, he opened the gap up almost about 8 tenths by the time they got to the apex of turn 1. So Kiwi's very strong in the straight line.
Yeah, well, he's got ahead of him 4 seconds down the road. Hawks is all over the back of Mike. Now, surely look at this. Yeah, they're in very close. They are now starting to slow each other down. So let's see if Kiwi, and he has 3.9 seconds. Kiwi's already starting to get closer.
Yeah. This is where Hawks doesn't want to be.
Now it's at a point where he's got to get past him, isn't it?
Yeah. So he needs them. I don't think it's dry enough yet to sort of take a chance on a different tyre. Maybe different intermediate. It's not worth it, is it? So he really needs to get the move done. He needs good exit out of the last turn. He is so close now to Mike's exhaust, and he'll be really keen to sort this overtake out sooner rather than later. He is losing time. As Zen said, Kiwi is starting to close them in. So let's see what he can do out of here. He needs a good exit. That Ferrari just rockets away with traction that Hawks doesn't seem to have. Yellow in sector 2. I think it's one of the Haas boys.
No, it looks like a yellow. Is it a Haas? No.
It's been fixed. Oh, that was almost close. Denos slowing down, and Saint sort of get caught out by that one.
Yeah, you're right. That was Danos.
So yeah, Denos caused a bit of a yellow. Mike did stay ahead. He got a really good run in the last turn, and Hawks, just the traction that Ferrari had, it was out of this world.
It's pretty good. It's still a slippery car, isn't it? It's still got this little bit of this top end magic.
Yeah, it definitely does. Banana Hammock gets a move on Lukey D. I don't know if Lukey D's carrying some damage. Let's have a look at his front end plates. They look all clean. I just don't think he's struggling in the conditions. Hammock was strong at the start, so he might be coming back to form as this race gets into the midway period. The race on Sunday is a 100% race at Bahrain. It's because the virtual Grand Prix was just terrible. We know we can do a better job, so we're going to put on a 100% Grand Prix that we missed out because of what's going on in the world right now. Schnell's getting close, 6 tenths to Kiwi, and that means they get even closer to Hawk. So 3 seconds the gap now.
Yep.
So there's 2 cars now that could be in this battle that weren't there for the last 14 laps.
It's interesting now. It's a bit of a cork in the bottle here with Mike as the back behind him. They're coming up to him 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th even. All the way up to fly spotter. If this keeps up, I estimate within 3 laps they're all going to be on top of Mike. And he goes, Hawks around the outside. Tries to do something there, but that was never sort of going to be on.
No, Mike was really pushing him to the extremities of that corner. Didn't want to let him turn in. I thought I don't know where Hawks thought he was going, but
It just looked like Hawk let go of the pedal, just let go of the brake pedal just to get a little bit of a run around the outside. But this is the problem. You see, now the tyres, the Inters, they're gripping okay relatively on that drying line. But if you go offline in the wet, they're too worn to absorb the water here. And it's very slippery offline now for the intermediates.
I'm even seeing Swatter in the background of the frame through some of these corners. So, yeah, we're down to 8th now. This is from 3rd to 8th.
Hawk's just got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
He's getting probably a little bit frustrated now. Can't let that get to him. This is probably what Mike was betting on happening. But yeah, the gap now from Hawks back to Kiwi, 2.3. So we've gained about 7/10 that lap alone. So they're getting closer. And it's getting hotter and hotter in the pressure cooker now for Hawks.
That's right, but I'm looking at my screen and I still see, it's only very light, but I still see rain. It's falling, but it's very, very light. That means I can't see him getting off these Inters for at least another, probably 5 laps. And then what do? Do you go back on Inters knowing that it will dry out probably? It's
such a tough call. You'd really need to be out there to sort of gauge the grip levels. It doesn't look very grippy at the moment, so you might have to. It might be your only option.
And the Ferraris are definitely, their tyres are suffering right now. It's pretty obvious. Not just the Mercs, but even the Red Bulls. We've got an Alpha, we've got a Force India, Racing Point, seem to be whatever. And Flysaw in the Williams, and they're gaining on these Ferraris up ahead.
There's also a little bit of a battle forming in the bottom half of the field. Bernard Hemmick squished in between a Renault and Lukey D. Oh, he's gone wide there, Andrew. Oh, they're side by side, and yeah, Hemmick had the traction, and he's now up one more spot. HRT, he's trying to block the run for Lukey as he darted back to the outside line. Thought someone was going off into the barrier, but it was just HRT aggressively defending the spot. He was holding on for dear life, and he didn't want to let go of 13th. And he's done just that. But Hemmick reaped the rewards then. But that's all it takes. One small mistake. And, goodbye. Say goodbye to maybe 2 or 3 spots.
That's right, exactly. Now, it's just, if you slip, and especially the more compressed, like this train that's starting to form behind Mike now, you could lose 3-4 spots in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that one would be very dangerous to slip up.
And I've been looking at bots and then looking at Mike, who's 8 seconds down the road, and they're both struggling in this middle sector, this sector 2 area. That's where the Mercs are superior at the moment, significantly, and so are the other cars: Crazy Kiwi, Schnell, Wardy, and Swatter. So that's an indication to me that the Ferraris are definitely struggling on these tyres right now.
I think Hawks and Mike then just had a bit of coming together. There was a yellow in the sector 2 where they were in, just for a brief moment. And I was watching the mini-map, and I swear I saw Hawks backing off just to let Mike go. I mean, I can't tell a lot from the mini-map, but maybe Hawks was having a dig through the chicane there. I think that's what the yellow was. These two guys. So yeah, Hawk's getting desperate now. Hello. Zitha, welcome along. Joined us for the wettest race of Season 6 here in Hungary. And at the moment, it's been business as usual from lap 1. And right now, we're waiting to see whether or not Hawks can finally mount the overtake on Mike. And just how close Kiwi, Schnell, Wardy and Swatter will get before that happens. They're getting to be within close quarters now. Look at this. This turn 2 to 3. And Swatter will be tagging onto the back end of that train in just a lap or two's time. So we're waiting now for the first pit stops to happen. And we know that this one is drying out. So how long can you run the intermediates for now?
That's right, exactly. The big gap there by BP over Bots by 10 seconds now.
It's massive.
Yeah, and Bots has pulled, 9 seconds on Mike, but this is where it's getting a bit bottleneck now. Hawks is super close. See what I mean here? Through this area here now, Hawks all over the back of him. You know, Mike really struggling to get that car rotated nicely, you know.
He
But there's
definitely...
no way to pass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then where there's room for Hawks to get a move, just look at that Ferrari down those straight sections, flies away.
Hawks hard under the brakes, had to go a little bit wide there to avoid Mike.
Oh,
See,
Mike.
Mike now it's gone a bit wide, but so is Hawks.
I think they're both starting to get to the end of their life on the tyres there.
This is probably Mike's biggest gap that he's pulled down. He maybe get out of that little bit of that draft zone for Hawks.
Yeah, look at that. The red car now just becoming a red pixel on your screens. It is very quick in a straight line. Very, very quick indeed. And yes, these cars are identical, but somehow the setups that the guys at Ferrari are using is just better on the straights.
Yeah, I mean, the boys can change, you know, obviously in the setups, the wing angles and all of that, but not just that. You look at the rake angle of the cars, and that also can attribute to either more drag, or which in turn will give you more grip, but will make you slower down the straights. And some of the boys in the Ferrari sometimes, like if you look at them closely, they like to run that rear end pretty low, and that does definitely give them significantly more top end speed. Now on a track like Hungary, it might be just, you know, 4 or 5k, but you know, at Shanghai in China or Monza, it could be well close to 20k.
The front boys are coming up on Andrew here, and he's lost his front wing. He's run very wide, and they get through him just nicely. But yeah, Andrew HRT in a bit of wars. Lukey D's inside the pit lane. He's the first car to do so, and he's on some new intermediates. So this one, when do the front runners pit? Hawks now within 3-4 tenths. He's a lot closer this time than he was last time. But if Mike can get the exits he's been getting the last 18 laps or so, it shouldn't be an issue for him. Here we go, down the front straight, and look at him rocket away. It's like he's got an extra NOS boost or something. It's just so effective down the straight lines. Into the braking zone. Oh, he's tagged him. I think there was a bit of a tag there as Hawks tried to pull up the Mercedes. I didn't see any carbon go flying. HRT's, he's gone the mediums.
On the medium. He's on the mediums. I've been watching him. He's struggling real bad out there, and I'm sure that all the other boys will be looking at his splits now, and they'd probably be thinking, no, it is definitely too early to come out on the slick just yet.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way to the back of the field now. Things are starting to get a bit spicy out on track. It is starting to dry up. The rain, I think, has stopped falling. So that every turn of the wheel now will be drying the circuit. And it's going to be... Oh, a bit of a tag there. Oh! Swatter. He's tagged the back of Wardy Chill. We're on board with him. And Wardy tries to get back up to speed. He's got no one in behind at the moment that will collide with him. But no fault of his own. He just got sent along. The old punterino, as Jimmer would call it, and Swatter is in 7th, and he's wearing some heavy damage on the front wing too.
Some heavy damage, yeah. Well, he's probably now can't go on the slick. We've just seen what have the end do. He sort of's got to roll the dice now. He's got this damage. He's going to be struggling for the rest of the lap if he doesn't.
Yeah, he needs to go in. He needs to make a call, and he's going in. Not surprisingly,
he's going in.
What does
Let's
Wardy
have a
do?
look here. Yeah, what tyre will he go on? This is crucial. He could easily go on a medium if the track's good enough.
Mings had
till the very end.
Falling out of his zone. I think he's struggling at the moment with the tyres degrading and the track drying. Here we go. Swatter and Wardy inside the pit lane. We're waiting to see how they react. There should definitely be a new wing for the Williams. Wardy's gone medium. They've both done it.
They're both mediums. Yep.
Wardy will get the track position back because he doesn't need to fix any damage. And here we go. Let's see how these mediums work out. This will be very interesting now because the guys up the front will be watching this with intensity like no other. A bit of a slide.
It's definitely slippery, but this is maybe you need the right time now. It's the key here is to actually get the temperature in the tyre. If the tyre doesn't have temperature, it is good for nothing. And how do you get the temperature in? Not by sliding, because that will grain the tyre. What you need to do is you need to take fast corners fast by loading the tyre up thermodynamically.
Ming's
Full
also
stress,
decided to bite the
grip.
bullet and go medium. So things are drying out there enough, I think. Wardy looks like he's got the hang of it now, halfway through the lap. It's still a little bit tentatively, but it looks like this might be working out for him.
This will be interesting now. We'll see now with the front runners who's going to make the call.
Well, Hawks is in, Kiwi's in, Schnell's in, so Mike's gone on. This one is going to be very, very interesting. Can Hawks jump him in the pit lane? He had to get a new wing as well, so he obviously did touch Mike. And we're not getting... Gets slowed down a little bit because Schnell was coming through. Don't know if that's going to slow him.
He's made that wing change, so that's given Crazy the leapfrogged him in the pits into 4th now.
Interesting. Everybody saw the back markers go mediums, and they've done it. He's coming out just ahead of one of the Hasses. He won't be too worried about that. He wants to get Tyre into the temps. Kiwi went wide, so got to be careful in this first lap. It still will be a little bit slippery. Like you said, you need to get them warmed up and into that working range. But Kiwi did jump Hawks.
Here comes BP into the pits now. And I'm sure Bots will follow him. But Bots is very far back. Almost an entire sector behind BP at the moment.
There's BP. His team's getting ready. Bots does slice away. And Mike... Oh, I really want to see where these guys come out. Kiwi, though, he's got Hawks right on his back bumper. And he'll be filling the rear vision mirrors now with just silver Mercedes. But they definitely looks like it's time for the mediums. They're working well. And the times will certainly come down. Danos is out.
Danos is out. Safety car. It's pulled out a safety car.
Oh dear. This could work out for everybody in the pit lane, including Bots and Mike.
Yeah, this could definitely. The ball. Everyone's made a pit. Oh, it's a big hit there. Big hit in the second sector, just on the end of the second sector.
And Hawks has come in again.
Hawks has come in again.
I didn't. Oh, he almost tagged. Almost tagged him. I don't know what he's decided to do that for.
What's he doing? He's gone on the soft. Gone on the soft. Wow, he must have seen a gap. He must have seen a gap. Wardy chill. He's going to get no. Yes, he has. He's gone past. Well, I guess, what are we looking at? 13 laps. Safety car. Probably going to get 11 laps with the spread of the field here. Oh, that's a wow! What a call by Hawks! What a call!
It might have been the best call of his life. That might change the outcome of this race completely. As we just waiting now for the safety car to pick up the leader. Saints has been given a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. That's never a fun time. BP had that last night in the Formula 2 event, which I will say, if you're a little bit... if you want to see non-stop action, that race at Hungary was definitely one to go watch. But this one, like I said, will come down to strategy. And we've had that today. It's definitely been worth the wait. As a safety car's been called out at the most critical time. Bots Mike were in the pit lane. And then Hawks saw an opportunity and he's gone on the soft tyre. And everybody now will be bunched up again. And he'll be on the fastest tyre amongst the top 7. And he's a very quick driver indeed. He'll be able to use that advantage too. We're just waiting now for the field to close up.
I've been crunching the numbers, and it's going to be tight for Hawks. Because he's got a couple of things working in his favour. He's got a lighter fuel load. The track is cooler too. So on the restart, his tyres are going to come up to temp quicker than anyone else's. So he's going to have to make 1 or 2 moves straight away off the restart in that first lap. But again, remember what we saw in Germany. If you push too hard too soon, you will run out of them at the end.
Yeah, you definitely will. But the hardest thing for him now is going to be keeping temp when he does get picked up by that safety car. So I wonder how we'll be able to mitigate that. Lots of weaving and toing and froing, I'm going to imagine, from Hawks. But this one just got turned up to 11 with the unpredictability factor. The weather sort of slowed them down. They played by the rules, but this last sprint to the end is going to be completely unpredictable, and I wonder, surely no one's going to dive in now for the softs. There's no point.
No, there's no point now. You lose. They're too compressed now, and wow, Judge, I'm blown away by this call. I think Hawks lost, what, 2 spots? He was 5th behind Kiwi after that stop because he had to repair his nose cone. So he lost 2 spots by doing it, okay? But he must have seen that there was a relative gap, and he's pulled the trigger. It's amazing.
It was. Carlo De Vita, welcome along. Thanks for hitting the like button and supporting the stream tonight. Don't forget, if you like what we do here, don't forget that is one of the awesome ways you can do so. But thanks to everyone that tunes in each and every week. If you are new, we're at Under a Safety Car here. My name's Josh Kane, your main commentator, and I've got Zen Raza with me in the commentary booth. And we're on Demo 1 Garage watching the FNL1 F1 Championship, round 5 from Hungary. And our championship leader, BPV8, is just in behind a safety car. And we're waiting to see if Hawks' decision to jump into the soft tyre when that safety car was called will pay off at the restart. That's what we're all anticipating and waiting for now.
Just going to see if this... there's a lot of stragglers out there. We could see the pace car turn its lights off at the end of this lap, but looking at the distance that those guys are behind, it might be one more lap.
And don't forget, tonight, Bambi chucked in with the Super Beast mode of $20. Hopefully we can give your tickets worth, mate. And hopefully the end of this race is worth the ticket price, because this one, I don't know what's going to happen. This could be chaos. This could be brilliance. This could be, I don't know, the call of the season. I don't know. We're about to find out, though.
Safety car's coming in, I think.
Awesome. So we've got about 11 laps. This is Hawks. BP holds the field. There's a few back markers in there. It doesn't clear it properly, but anyway. I think you're right, Bambi, but this one should get a little bit crazy now as we get to the restart. Look how quick the Ferraris were off the line. Jumped BP there, and Mike right up there, 4 wide up into the first turn. Everybody's strangling for position, and this one could get chaos. And Hawks is up to 6. Schnell's dropped down 1. Mike's down into 5th now. He's right next to Wardy Chill. We've got some back markers in there. They'll be getting the blue flags. Bots is caught behind Kiwi. Kiwi's totally won out on that one. But BP, I thought he lost out. Those Ferraris were lightning fast, but he's gotten back into the front. But this man in the Red Bull, he's gained about 3-4 spots out of that one. And the Ferraris, big loss from them there. But there were cars everywhere at the restart.
That was a little bit crazy at the restart. That was almost like an IndyCar style double file
wasn't
restart.
it?
It was like, I can't help but think that someone like Crazy Kiwi, and there's 1 or 2 others that, did they jump that start?
It was
restart?
They got away with it. I didn't see penalties come up. And now Hawks is struggling to get through Wardy Chill. I wonder if the DRS will come on in the next few laps. There are some back markers mixed in with the top runners now, but he doesn't need to get caught. He needs to get to use these tyres. And look how quick he is and confident he is through these corners. Schnell's right on his tail as well, but already BP's built a 1.2 second lead. It's going to be Kiwi's turn to stop those Ferraris from getting on the podium here. Extra wide there from Hawks. He's got to be careful. He darts back up to the inside. Wardy's going to block his run maybe. Back on side to the racing line. And into the braking zone they come. And first for BP, Kiwi, Bots, Mike, Wardy, Hawk, Schnell. Swat is down in 8th. And Ming, he's inside the top 10 now. And as attack there, covering off 10th place. Well, and Chooks had to come in. He's getting onto the soft tyre. There's busy in the pit lane. Banana's done the same thing. But interesting calls through the field. But yeah, that restart, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it was like BP was the one that fell asleep in the restart, you know, leading him out. That's what it looked like.
Let's have a look here. Hawks is still struggling to get past the pink racing point of Wardy. Oh, tries to dart up on the inside, but Wardy didn't want him having any of it. Closes the door on him. We get this beautiful overhead shot. We can see just how tight the track is here at Hungary. There's not a lot of space, but he's touched him. I think Hawks might have lost some end plates there. He did on the left-hand side. That's going to be compromising his downforce a little bit in this technical section. He'll be needing it, but with those soft tyres, he might be able to just hold on.
Oh, can he hold it in on the inside? Yes, he does. He throws it down.
Surely he'll get this one here, Wardy. Look at that side by side. It's a pure drag race up into the first turn, and he's just going to get him. And I think Kiwi's been overtaken. No, he's darted back onto the inside, and Bots gets the up and under. And he's now chasing him down into two. But Kiwi's got that inside line. Heavy on the brakes around the outside on the longer run. Inside for three. It's the better line to have. And he does. He gets in front of the Red Bull. And here comes Hawks.
Bots has got, 3.6 seconds down the road, BP in first place. And he wants to now, try and hold him at least, We know Bots can do it, he was on pole. The car's quick enough, surely.
Yeah, I know. He just needs to have confidence in himself here at the moment. It's the car's... This race has come alive now after the track has dried. It has really changed things here. And Kiwi, he's sticking well with Bots at the moment. So looks like they're sort of equal at the moment. Bots needs to use that extra straight line advantage. I don't know how much of an advantage it is on the Red Bull. We haven't been able to compare much tonight.
Yeah, he's not really pulled away from Kiwi, and he's losing ground to BP, hand over fist, really. So I think he's still driving a bit defensively because of how close Kiwi actually is to him. Mike's now all over the back of Kiwi. We've got a great run here.
Yeah, this is where Mike's straight
DRS.
It is.
He's active, yes.
Look at that. Here he comes, Mike. Shoulder nose on the inside. He wasn't close enough, though, to put the pressure on and feel the mirrors of Kiwi. Ali, welcome along and thank you for following. You just joined us here for this incredible sprint to the end. But BP, though, he's jumped everybody. 5 seconds already. He's just unmatchable sometimes.
Definitely.
But while this three-way, four-way battle rages on, BP will build the lead. He takes any advantage he gets to do that. Look at
Hawks, right up the back of this train now.
And Wardy's not too far away either. So expect maybe Wardy to be tagging onto the back end of this too.
Well, remember in Germany we had 2 Red Bulls ganging up on a Ferrari. Well, I think it's payback time.
Oh, Mike. No, in the Ferrari behind him. I thought he was going to go for something there. The door did open. But as it shut back on, he's let off and backed out of it slightly.
See, now Mike will be under big pressure because he knows that Hawks is on the better tyre, but he doesn't know if Hawks has any damage. So Mike will be a little bit, like, I've got to get past Kiwi.
The soft tyres, I don't know, maybe 5
or 6.
Oh,
he goes a move down the inside, Mike. No.
No, Kiwi takes third from him still. Mike is really there. He's on the quarter panel, and he dived hard on the brakes now. Will make it too wide through 2. Inside line, and they clang wheels again. I think Hawks might be able to jump him here too. He does. He does. Hawks done it.
He does.
So Hawks' tyres, the tyre life maybe 6-7 laps. Expecting. Don't think there'll be much more than that. So he will be stretching those softs to the end a little. But if he can get in front and get that all-important track position before they start to wear out, he should be able to defend it.
Oh, the thing that'll be driving Hawks now is he can visually see second place. Visually. So he knows the second step on the podium is right there. Probably 300 metres down the road, if that.
And Kiwi's done so well. He was holding up second, then he was holding up third, but he lost 2 in one corner. It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And his next worry will be probably Wardy and Schnell because they look like they got a little bit of pace in them as well. DRS for him though, as he was close enough to the back end of Hawks. Those Ferraris still flying away. He might actually have a dig here. Not today. But yeah, those Ferraris unstoppable in a straight line. So Hawks needs to do something about it. Quick, smart. Kiwi though. Kiwi's really tight to the back of Hawks. So I don't know if Hawks' soft tyres are already dropping off.
Yeah, I think he's probably up the front, you know, because of that end plate damage. He's probably, you know, got a bit of graining on that inside tyre, maybe on actually the outside is the end plate where it's missing. You know, it could be overheating that outside tyre.
Let's have a look at his onboard, see if we can't get a... Doesn't look like there's much. Maybe that left-hand side.
Yeah, the left-hand side, yeah, that's the end plate, you know, and on this track, you know, turn 1 and then the fast entry into the second sector all relies on that tyre. Also here coming up into this corner.
Doesn't look too bad, but...
doesn't look too bad, yeah.
It would be interesting to see the back tyres as well. These tyres look alright. Can't really see that telltale graining. He has managed to pull away from Kiwi a little. And Wardy, though, he's done well. He's stayed with the Red Bull man. And 6th and 5th up for grabs. As he uses his DRS now to catapult him down that front straight and close the gap on the Kiwi in that Red Bull. Into the apex of 1 now. He'll get DRS again down to 2. And down the hill we go. Running and chasing. Hot pursuit is on. Wardy turns in. Wardy's still in behind. He's got another lap now to work at it. Exciting racing though. That's really turned on here at the end. Where I've got 5 to go, including the lap we are on. And there's penalties being handed out left, right and centre for people going over track limits. They're really trying to squeeze all they can out of the cars now that the track has dried up.
Yeah, they're definitely, you know, taking their limits with all the apexes, maximising their exits.
Let's get you a look at the stops. Most of the guys have done a 1-stopper tonight, as you can see. Hawks did do a 2-stopper. That's why he's on the soft, because he went when the safety car was called. He saw an opportunity and he dived in. But yeah, most of them on the 1-stopper because it was a wet race. Very wet race from the start. Fastest lap. Still is BP. The 1:19.479.
The Ferraris seem to have, like, if anything, it looks like Mike's doing a rear gunner for bots, and he's pulled a little bit of a buffer out of the DRS zone on Hawks now, and really Hawks is just defending now against Kiwi, so I think that soft tyre is done.
Yeah, I think it is. He just has to consolidate now and work on just staying in 4th, because Kiwi his tyres will come to life in the next lap or 2, if not already. So yeah, Hawks has got a big task ahead of him now. They're gapped to the leader. You can see Bots is 9 seconds behind. Kiwi here is 13, so nice little lead for BP at the front.
So I think for Hawks, he's going to be more worried about Wardy Chill than Kiwi, because Wardy is extremely fast right now.
He is, isn't he? We've also got to remember Hawks has got a penalty. I don't know what the other penalties are like for the rest of the guys as well. It could be very interesting. Because I know a few of the guys have got track limit pens. Wardy Chill though, he is doing well. Just needs to get a little bit closer to Crazy Kiwi, and he should be able to have a dig and a move. Kiwi though will get DRS with Hawks ahead of him. Remember, they've got to be within a second at the DRS detection, and they get to use it. Here we go.
Kiwi blocks him. Hawks does well.
Still
covers that inside line.
Still nothing yet. He did. As they appear around the corner. Oh, he might go around the outside and get on the long way round him. He'll get the inside for 3, and there it is. The inevitable's happened. He did touch him there, didn't he?
He did. He's got more damage now on the outside. That's big. That's severe damage now for Hawks.
Oh, Hawks has a habit of doing that.
Oh, well.
He did that last week as well.
And now Wardy Chill. He's all over the back of Hawks going into the chicane in the second sector.
And you can see, look at that damage he's wearing on that front wing. Severely affecting his aero performance right now. And yeah, through this technical part, he'll be struggling with understeer. And yeah, Wardy Chill, he is all over him like a rash at the moment. He's coming forward. He's bursting through. Here it is. And the overtake works for Wardy. He's in the top 5. Well done.
So really, Hawks hasn't achieved anything from going on that soft tyre. It's all come to naught. He's back
might
to
even
pretty
lose
much
a spot
square
to
one.
Schnell here.
Yeah, and he's pitting now. He has no choice. He knows he's going to go backwards big time. He's only got a lap to go. Yeah, it's not really where he wants to be.
Surely he would have been better off.
Oh, and speeding in pit lane penalty as well. Compounds the errors.
Oh, it never works for you sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah. When it rains, it pours, doesn't it?
It does, and it was raining early on, and while it might be a dry circuit now, it'll be a very, very slippery slope for Hawks. He slid down that all the way from, well, he was almost leading this race at one point, but it has been BP from start to finish, and this will make it 5 wins in a row. Touch wood, because he's not there yet, but 5 wins in a row. And there's no faulting his performance in Season 6 at the moment. He's done everything right.
Yeah, it's literally been a perfect run so far, hasn't it? And still 2 races to go after checkered flag drops.
Whoa!
Oh!
Wardy! He had the big slide on big time, and Schnell's just gobbled up that spot. But Wardy, wow, he was on the edge of grip there. He was putting on a bit of a drift. Great show if you like seeing cars sideways, but it's not a normal state for a Formula 1 car to be in.
Well, there's a classic example of wait for someone to make a mistake and boom, be there to capitalise on it. And Wardy
He works so hard for that top 5 too, Wardy.
Yeah. And Schnell's now, got a, buy a lottery ticket, I think, he's capitalised big time on that.
Yeah, Ali was saying with Hawks' tyres they were done. They definitely were. That's why we saw him jump into the pit lane. Crowd cheers on BP though as he finishes off his final lap here at Hungary, and he'll make it 5 from 5 for Season 6. A statistic I don't think's been matched, or will be matched for a long time to come. But BP, he's come a long way since Season 1 and 2. Oh, Lukey D's out.
Oh,
Lukey D.
Oh, the entry to Massa corner.
Big crash for Lukey. But it is BP's time to shine once again. That checkered flag flying, and it'll be all his. A fantastic win, and he does a fastest lap at the last lap as well.
Of course.
He did that last week. He did it again on used mediums this week. Bots will come through and take second, and Mike just in behind him in third. And they stay like that. And Kiwi, he takes 4th place. Schnell inside the top 5. Then it's Wardy. He actually goes 5th. Schnell
he actually goes
penalties.
5th. There you go. Wow.
And then it'll be Ming in 7th place. As Attack looks to take 8th. And Hawks will get some points, but not where he wants to be there in 9th position. He might go for the fastest lap though. He didn't do it. Unserved penalty as well. So 5-second time penalty. Hawks, it just didn't stop today. The penalties and the bad luck.
No, it didn't. It was not a happy hunting ground for him today. And he had good pace though. Definitely in qualifying in the practice to what I was watching. Just couldn't make it work for him. A little bit unlucky with traffic and all that, but you get those days. You definitely get those days. But Bots has kept the championship alive, at least for the next race. And definitely Ferrari have done all they can to keep their constructors alive. They probably actually, by my calculation, I think they would have gained about 4 or 5 points on Mercedes.
Yeah, they would have today. So they will stay on top. But again, a good haul of points for Ferrari. Always just consistent with the podiums this season. Very consistent. But there it is, your winners for the Hungary Grand Prix. We'll have them in interviews if you want to listen in. And don't forget, on Sunday, I will put the event up very shortly, so you can set a reminder. But it'll be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Mixer. But we've got a 100% Grand Prix race on Sunday, and we hope to see you there for that. But right now, we've got the interviews coming up from BP, Bots, and Mike. Any standout drivers for you there today, Zen? Anyone that surprised you with
Well,
the results?
to be honest, I know it's easy to say. BP, just didn't put a foot wrong at all, at all. And to do that now for 5th race in a row, really, I think that's an outstanding drive. For me, it's probably unusual that normally we don't go with the guy that won the race, but I don't think I can go past it.
Too right. Well, they're joining in. Box is the first Ferrari driver in.
First Ferrari driver of the season.
You hear the boys now.
BPV8 once again.
Hello.
Convincing win for you, 5 in a row. That's pretty good form you got running there.
Yeah, that one was a bit more hectic.
What happened at the restart? It looked like you almost...
Yeah, what happened at the restart?
Everyone
It
was
was still
next
yellow.
to each other.
It was still yellow. It did not go green until the start-finish line, and as I got a drive-through yesterday, I didn't want to breach anything, so I didn't go until it was green. Well, it actually went green as I crossed the start-finish line.
Is there a dab of break in there?
Have a break.
Yeah.
So did because it looked to us like a full Indy-style double row restart, which it shouldn't have been because it was a safety car restart. There were guys beside you. There was 3 cars at one stage beside you. By the time you went, did anyone get a ping for that?
Yeah, I had to give positions back. I had to give positions back to Lukey. Even though they were a lap down, I still had to give positions back to them.
Yeah, because it doesn't. That's because the game doesn't let the lapped cars go past the safety car.
Yeah. I was just waiting until it went green. It didn't go green right to the end. And I knew every second kind of mattered because the amount of validators so I get around this place.
Yeah, it's pretty technical.
I saw everyone go behind me. I was like, "What are they doing? It's still yellow." Like,
all right. What
so
about
it shocked me. I was like, "What the?" No, like, yeah.
What about qualifying? Were you surprised when? Yeah, were you surprised when bots? So
I bitched it at the fast left-hander. Almost completely missed the apex, and the fast right-hander. The left wheels got on the curb, which unsealed the rear. I was in a bit of a slide, had to back off, and before I can get going. So, yeah, not the cleanest lap.
Fair enough.
The fast right-hander at the end of the second sector.
Well, you've been dominating so far. That's 5 wins out of 5 for the European leg, which you've always been pretty quick at.
Track position helped, so I knew I had to put motion into words. Deep dive into turn 1.
And where is it that you got bots on that? Did you get him in turn 2?
That was turn 1. I ran deep and I was expecting a crisscross, to be honest, because I ran deeper than I wanted to. And I overfueled like a motherfucker, so the car was like a tank. I still had like 2 laps extra up at the end of the race.
That's right, the rain will do that too, because you probably don't burn as much fuel.
Nah, it got me, and the safety car didn't help. I really was not happy about the safety car. I was happy with the lead so I can cruise to the end.
Alright, well done BP, good win there. At 5th of the season, and pretty much I think you can wrap it up here in next week.
That's yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Alright, bots. Second spot. Looking good on pole. They just couldn't match the pace of BP in the race, eh?
Well, yeah, I got a good start, but then I was nervous into turn 1 because I saw a heap of red arrows. I counted about 3 red arrows around me, and I Mike was saying he was on the inside of BP, so I was expecting kind of Mike to be on the inside, BP to be on the middle, and maybe a bottleneck, and I'd be the loser of that. But yeah, I saw BP go past and was kind of kicking myself for not being as aggressive into the first corner as I should be, and then it was just kind of a procession for them. I got pretty bored, so I was about to start a Zoom chat, but then the safety car came out, we all pitted, so the pit worked.
Well, that obviously breathed a bit of excitement into your race.
Yeah, no.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was stressing because I had about 83-84% wear on the rear. So
Jesus Christ.
I kept four-wheel drifting to the last corner. I've been playing dirt all afternoon.
Well, actually, that was what I wanted to ask, actually. Were you guys, it seemed that the Ferrari struggled first on the intermediate tyres.
I think about lap 7, my tyres came in. BP was certain. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he does. I want to know what he does, but I don't know what he does. But my tyres came in about lap 7, and until lap 7 till 15, I was in the groove, and then 16, 17, they really started to drop off. And yeah, it was quite tense because obviously you get over the 70%, and then it's just you're really rolling the dice whether you want to. Well, not whether you want to. You're really rolling the dice if you get a puncture or not. So,
yeah, definitely.
Watching the spray off the tyres, it wasn't really getting any better, and then just called it. Said we got to go. Mike was kind of dropping back a little bit so we could double stack, and that worked out well, especially with the safety car. And then, after that restart, Kiwi took off. He had a bit of pace, so he took off for a little bit, and I was worried I wasn't going to catch him. And then he ran wide, and I got past him. I think, or I might have got past him later down the track, I'm not sure. And then, I just basically ran 1 and 0 and backed him up into Mike so Mike could get past. And as soon as Mike got past, then I pushed on and built the gap to Mike. And then just kind of been a bit careless on the last lap, trying to get the fastest lap. And I got a penalty, so lucky I had that gap. But, yeah.
Well, thank God you didn't get bored, and you held out till the very end and got a podium.
Yeah, nah. Just big shout out to Zoom. It's an unsponsored plug, but yeah, big shout out Zoom.
Oh man. All right, Mike.
How was your race, Mike?
Yeah, how was your race, Mike? You know, like.
I went in on the Zoom chat. Look, it was pretty lackluster. It was pretty how you going. I knew the start would be pivotal. Thought I was gonna do a little cheeky one down the inside of BP to turn 1, but got flashbacks of someone in turn 2 at Germany and how if I hit the car on my left, that can send that car off into my teammate. So I learned from someone's mistakes and decided not to do it. And then it just kind of settled in. The conditions were shit. Just drove around like you can't. Once you've finished sector 1, that's it. There's no overtake. So it was just full deploy, full harvest, full deploy, full harvest, full deploy, and then like Bot said, the track started drying out. It was kind of that. Do we go to slicks? Can we go one more lap?
We were saying that as well.
Some of the guys behind. Because Schnell was obviously in the chat, who did really well tonight. Just a quick shout out to Schnell. He was like, some of the guys behind are gone on the slicks. They're not catching. They're a bit, how you going everywhere. So we're like, we'll go one more lap. And then on that lap was when DRS was enabled, which is the strongest indicator to say track's dry.
Yeah.
Bots was like, pit in. When we saw that was coming, the plan was, I'd drop back 10 seconds from bots, which meant more harvesting than deploying and just backing everything up. So we built that 10-second gap. He got in, pitted. As he left, the Ferrari crew got everything ready, come in, pitted, safety car come out as I was up in the air. And just went, schmozzle bloody safety car restart. Had to give position a lukey back to everyone and lost 3 positions. And then went wide with Wardy into turn 1, turn 2, then just out-muscled through the fast right. And then, just poached Kiwi. I don't know if I hit him when I got past him through that kink right up to the fast left, but I just super aggressive on my half. If I hit him, well, then we'll have a look. But, just did that, got behind bots, and we're just like, off we go. And then I knew Hawks would be charging on the softs, and then just trying to defend against that, but then they hit their inevitable cliff that we knew they would hit. And, that was pretty much it.
But did you know Hawks also had damage? He had the end plate damage with Kiwi. That early in his stint though.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling he drove into the back of me into the hairpin and got a bit of damage.
No, actually, he didn't get any damage from that. No.
I locked up in the wet going in the hairpin, and then went too much on the brake to get the car turned, and then I think he tapped me, but. Yeah, we saw the tap, but I was getting a few. Hey, I'm here taps. Hurry up, and I was doing the no, I ain't budging. So, Bots and I just knew we had to double stack when the chance come because we're on the same strategy. So we just had to have that gap.
No, he's done well, and next week Spa. The Ferrari boys probably thinking. Constructors, I assume, and whatever come with the Drivers' Championship. But Spa's a long, straight, big circuit. Do you reckon you guys can actually bring back a bit of the Season 5 glory?
BP's going to be racing, right?
Yeah, but I know these
they've also got that power unit.
Well, no comment there. Apparently, the Mercedes is having some steering mechanical problems. So if we're lucky, that'll just do it.
I lost force feedback, a fair bit of force feedback my wheel last Sunday, so the steering's not quite right.
So playing around with the dust.
The reliability of the Mercedes is still up for debate.
But can you give us any insight into whether or not you're going to be running both fuel flow sensors, or just the one?
We can neither confirm nor deny any accusations on the basis that we may incriminate ourselves further.
Not going to say yes or no, but I am just going to say there is an extra shipment of oil being...
extra shipment of oil.
Look,
if you see
the BP trucks in the pit stop, just keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. All right, boys. Great race. It was had everything. Wet, dry, intermediates.
Big shout out to the back markers. The guys getting lapped. I know there was
much better than Germany.
There was a Toro Rosso as well. There's a few other people, even Lukey and whoever that McLaren were on the restart. They were already moved over to get out of the way. Obviously it's shitty getting lapped, but us guys who were doing the lapping really appreciate it, making the consensus effort to actually get out of the way. So that was really good tonight.
Should be getting my new base next week, so I'll probably have better steering come next week.
The stewards will review that, and there'll be a.
This thing's gonna shit itself soon.
He's got the DAS.
Yeah,
the DAS.
Yeah. The DAS.
All right, guys. Thanks for chatting, and we'll see you in Spa.
All good. Yep. Invites to the Zoom going out now.
Roger.
Good stuff. I expect mine in the mail.
Alrighty, well, everybody still watching. There's probably one person, but
yeah, it's probably us.
Thanks for sticking around, and again, thanks to Bambi for the super chat early on. Legendary. But we'll end it tonight. We've got, like I said, 100% race at Bahrain on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard. Keep an eye out on wherever you watch me from for the scheduled time. But until then, race hard on the edge, and we'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good weekend.
Go hard or go home.
That's it. Good night.
Good night. going to go make a pit stop. I've been dying to do a pit stop that whole bloody interview.